evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio number 417. My name is Mel Popeye Moss. My co-host, Mel O.G. Robbins. We are with Texas Biker Radio News and Sons of Liberty Riders MC, who sponsors this show each and every week. Good evening, Mel. How are you doing?
I'm alive.
Mel's still working on his new house, so finishing up touches, right?
Oh, Lord, love a duck. We're about 85% complete. So.
There you go. And, well, let's start out our news and comment with this last weekend, the memorial ride for Jester, our past
chapter
president out of Houston. Well-loved and respected guy. It's like I said several times that you guys have heard me say that the only place you can find that kind of camaraderie, that kind of love, that kind of respect is in the military. This is in the MC and our world. That's the only other place I see that you can find that.
I don't think you find it any other place. Even my son and I were talking here not too long ago. He recently left the Minneapolis Police Department.
His son was up there in the middle of that mess.
He was in the 3rd precinct when they were trying to burn it.
Yeah.
And he mentioned to me, he was talking to, now my son was a Marine. He had been deployed to Djibouti. And, he found brotherhood in the military like all of us do. And
don't worry about it. Just keep going. That's my phone over there, and I thought I had quietened the tune. We'll finish here in a minute. If that's my wife, she should know better. But,
and what happened in Minneapolis with the riots and the burning, and where they were seriously trying to kill police officers. It pretty well fragmented the department. I mean, they went from 800 officers down to 500 almost immediately. He was pretty disturbed about the whole thing. He had a conversation with one of the guys he was deployed with in his old unit, and they were talking about the brotherhood and how in the military, everyone had each other's back, and we always think, and we talk about this thin blue line, but he talked about the fact that even the Leos do not have the brotherhood that you get out of the military or you get out of an MC. They may have your back, but they got your back so far.
Yeah.
And when it's time for them or you, guess who it is? So, and that's not to say they're all like that. They're all bad. But I mean, we're just talking in general terms here, because we do know there are some pretty decent guys out there in law enforcement. I mean, I ran into a couple at church. Last Sunday. Yeah. I happened to walk up to him and I was thanking him for what they do and for being there to watch over the congregation on a Sunday. And we got to talking about what happened up in Minneapolis. I was telling him about my son, and both officers looked at each other and they said, we are so glad we're in law enforcement in Texas.
Yeah.
Because they've been watching this crap in all these blue states. And, I mean, I could tell these Arlington officers were really nice guys.
Yeah.
So that's my comment on brotherhood.
That's right. And so anyway, we had a heck of a ride this weekend. We covered almost 600 miles.
According to my trip odometer, it was a little over 6 by the time it was all said and done.
600 miles. I could definitely tell by the bugs that were all over my motorcycle that we had been on a heck of a trip, and the memorial ride was great. The event afterwards was great, and you can go to Sons of Liberty Riders MC on Facebook and see a lot of pictures of the event, and hopefully we get some video pretty soon.
There had to be well over 100 bikes on
Yeah.
that memorial, on that last ride.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
And I am happy to say now we had chapters coming in from all the states,
Right.
all 4 states, and so we had brothers on the road to be there. There were other MCs in the Houston area that attended the ride.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big ride. It was escorted by
It was escorted. That was unbelievable, guys.
by 3 constables. And I mean, we were on freeway and back road, and they protected us. They did one hell of a good job.
Yeah, they did.
And I am happy to say there was not one incident in the entire trip.
Mm-hmm.
Not one.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Yeah. And Ironhead, you're right about what you're saying there. Yeah. We get along till we don't, or they do something that's kind of cheesy, that's not really right, like taking a biker to jail for failing to give a turn signal, taking a biker to jail for being over the white line, taking a biker to jail for a Hollywood stop. And like I do many times, I'll kind of stop and go without putting my foot down.
Or how about failing to signal when you turn into your driveway?
That's right, failing to signal when you turn into your driveway. Now that one right there took the cake, guys. That took the cake. But let's talk about something else that's taking the cake, that's just east of Dallas, a little town called Wolf, Texas. East of Dallas and north of Greenville, about 17 miles north of Greenville, Texas. Population 1,400. A couple is in an argument. A guy steps in to break it up. Now these are black people. Here comes a law officer, tases a guy that's trying to break it up, and then shoots him.
Oh,
What? At times, they are their own worst enemy. You agree with that?
where the hell did they get these guys?
It's in my opinion, these police departments know who their bad apples are. And they don't take action like many MCs do to get rid of their bad apples.
Yeah, you can't blame it entirely on their training program. I mean, to a certain degree, we all know that that's lacking. They're trying to expedite these people through. However, you cannot train something like that happened out of somebody.
Yeah.
They were looking to do that from day one.
Yeah. So guys, what happened? What happened last night in Wolf City, population 1,400, all of a sudden, the people that went downtown for the vigil consisted of many of the people there in Wolf City, and also consisted of, here they come, the Antifa types the BLM types, the ambulance chasers, what I call them now. It's every time that something happens like this. And let me say this, in today's atmosphere, who the hell does this?
They're parasites. They feed off of stuff that's happened.
It's crazy, guys. I would like to see, but you know, here's the one thing, OG. They say we need to talk. We need to talk. Well, it's hard to talk to people who are not listening. You can't talk to these people because they don't want to talk. They don't want to hear what we might have to say. They want to shut us up and listen to them. Now that is not a conversation. Period. I don't know how you have a conversation with yourself because they're damn sure not listening. Oh, gee, let me explain what's going on. Let me see. Over here, right there, guys. See that? That was in Louisville, Kentucky, today. There's that was the Proud Boys, and I guess the Antifa showed up down there, and there didn't anything happen, just a lot of yelling. Just a lot of yelling and carrying on, and beating on drums. And if you watched any of the protests that were going on in Portland last night, oh gee, it was something else. I mean, they're marching around the city, going in front of these big apartment buildings, banging on drums, and they got searchlights shining in the windows of all these apartments. And you know, guys, I'm absolutely shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that people are putting up with this mess and that the police is allowing it to go on. Now, there are those police are deputized federal marshals. They can arrest them and take them in and put federal charges on them. And that's what they should be doing. And let me tell you guys, last night I did see their lawyers. They wear the green hats, or in this case, they were wearing green helmets, lime green helmets. So those would be the first ones I would arrest. Yeah, the first ones. I mean, do I have to go up there and give them the proper strategy to handle this shit? I'm just saying, everybody. Just saying. And let's say some hi to a few people on the chat line there, OG. There's Jerry, Ironhead, Matters Workshop, Lori Bell. How you doing, darling? So they're all there having conversation back and forth. It's kind of interesting. Remember, guys, don't cuss. YouTube will block it. They'll block it. And if you do cuss, misspell it. Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about President Trump. Now, he comes home from the hospital. Let me show this to you guys real quick, if I can get my mouse to work. Let me show this to you guys. This is kind of interesting. I'll crank it up. Here we go. Now, this is President Trump coming out of the helicopter, going back to the White House. So here he goes. There's one salute. That's proper.
Right.
Yeah.
He always does that.
Yeah. So he goes up to the balcony. We gotta wait for him to get up there, and walks across the lawn and under his own power. Now the media is going crazy. They're going crazy today, and what they're saying is, hey, he got up there on that balcony and took his mask off. He's standing up there by himself. I promise you guys, I promise you, when I'm by myself, I take that damn mask off. The only time I wear it is if I'm going into a place where they require me to wear it. Period. And you do the same thing, right, OG?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, coming back, there were several places we went into. I didn't put a frickin' mask on.
Now here he is, and he gets up there, and I'm sure he's doing a photo op. Takes his mask off. There's nobody around him.
Their heads exploded.
Yeah, they're exploding. They're carrying on about it all day long. All the mainstream media, overseas media, everybody's carrying on. They call it a Hollywood production. And you know what? He was pinned up in a hospital for a few days. He's a high energy guy. And so, I don't blame him for wanting to stand on the patio. I do it all the time at my house. All the time. So he's standing there, he's adjusting his suit, he's looking trim. They call him fat, but I don't, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. So he gives this Marine that's standing in front of him a salute. Proper to do.
Absolutely.
As a military man, I would expect nothing less. So there's nothing wrong with that. But everybody is going insane today. Everybody's going insane.
Well, as a matter of fact, on Fox News tonight, they were having a mini meltdown.
Yeah.
Because Trump was talking about, he never quite realized what it was fully like to have COVID. And how people should not live in fear of catching it because it doesn't necessarily have to be that bad, especially now because they've learned a lot. Treatments have changed. The fatality rate has gone way, way down. And so they're having a meltdown now because they're saying he's being totally irresponsible. He's feeding false information to the public. Yahoo News is trying to say that there's communities of people out there that are totally outraged that have lost loved ones to COVID. It's just frickin' unbelievable.
Look.
Yeah. Trump got it. He survived. In fact, we need to talk a little bit about Trump getting it to begin with because it smells a little like a fish market. It smells
fishy, guys. It smells fishy. And all the conspiracy theories were going on all weekend by the mainstream media and all the left-wing hacks out there, the politicians, all of them going crazy with their conspiracy theories that Donald Trump didn't really have it, that, this is all a show, this is all a lie, and so, here we go. But we've got our own conspiracy theory to throw out there, everybody. I mean, let's talk about it, OG. The only people right now that seem to be getting the COVID-19 are Republicans.
And it seemed to be a fairly large group around Donald Trump that all got it at the same time.
Yeah.
A little bit too convenient. I would be very suspicious, and I am suspicious that this may be possibly some kind of an opportunistic happening shortly before the election to slow down all of those damn rallies that he's been going to.
Sending the chaos.
Instead, Meathead was out there today.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard he lost it once or twice.
I don't have that clip. I will post it at texasmicroradio.org tonight. I will find that clip where he was talking about the reason he's in quarantine is because of black women stocking the store shelves. Something like that, guys. It was crazy. It was crazy.
He obviously either was near the end of his med treatment or he hadn't taken any medication. And for those of you who are not familiar with dementia, I happen to have some familiarity with it, not because I necessarily have it.
At times we both have it.
I have a relative. As a matter of fact, it's my sister's husband. And he had been diagnosed with dementia some years back. So upon moving to Texas, we were with them for a little while. And in order to better understand what we were dealing with and what we could expect, we went to some support group meetings and learned a great deal. Now, dementia is a pretty broad spectrum analysis of what you might be getting into later. But the first thing, besides memory, short-term memory, to go is what they call a filter.
Yeah.
We all have a filter inherently built into us. And basically what that means is when you're standing talking to people, you could be looking at a gorgeous rack. You could be looking at some idiot, and you really want to tell them what you think, but this filter you have in you stops you from doing that.
Right.
Now, these people that get dementia start to lose the filter, and as time goes on, it gets progressively worse, and what they're saying is really what in the hell they're thinking. And I can remember times we were out, and sometimes it got a little embarrassing, especially when he was around some young waitress. But as long as he took his meds, it seemed to reinforce the filter for a while, and they kept increasing the dosage. That's exactly the same thing that's going on with Biden. He's on some medication that's taking care of that filter.
Yeah.
And he either, it's been too long since his last dose, or it's time to up the dosage, because you can imagine he's under a certain amount of strain and stress doing this campaign.
Yeah. Let's reel back into the conspiracy theory.
Right.
Oh, gee. The FBI is still not cooperating. They are still not handing over materials that the Senate is asking for, the people that are doing the investigation. They are still fighting, turning over materials. And let me say this. What if the FBI, there's that deep state runs awfully, awfully deep. What if they slip them a COVID Mickey?
Very easy to do. CDC now claims it can be airborne. So let's do a little aerosol.
Yeah.
Pipe it into the HVA system.
So the CDC changes their mind every other day on something. And you talking about mixed signals. Because I do believe in the science, in some of it. But there are people within the CDC that were not coming into their office. And guess what they were doing? They were working for the Democrats, the progressive Democrats. They were leaking. They were doing all kinds of stuff that would trying to affect the message that's being put out there by Democrats to help them. Not to hurt them, to help them. And so President Trump finds himself under full assault by the media, by these politicians, by these people that work for the federal government. And make no doubt, the CDC gets their paychecks from the federal government. We pay their salaries. And many of those people working for the CDC benefits, like Dr. Fauci, from these drugs that are sold by these companies that are working so hard. They're going to try and make sure that their names are on the patents. And Dr. Fauci has been accused of stealing patents before. There's a video out there about it. I don't trust any of them. Any of them. But when I'm by myself, my mask does come off. And OG, maybe we ought to have a National Mask Off Day.
That would be cool.
Where everybody sends in videos of them whipping that thing out. How far can you throw it? Maybe you can burn it or something. We'll think of something to do there and fight back against this kind of crap that's going on.
Well, I would, when it comes to wearing a mask, if you were to follow what they do in the hospitals, they wear the mask one time and they throw it away.
Yeah.
I would ask how many people out there throw the mask out, throw their mask away every time they use it.
Oh, hey, look, we've got mask pollution going on now. You can't go into a parking lot without finding a mask or a rubber glove out in the parking lot that's being washed off into the drainage ditches and into the creeks and lakes and everywhere else. Just saying, everybody. Just saying. The masks are now pollution. Maybe that's another campaign. But hey, that would be the National Mask Off Day if you dare. If you dare do it. How about that, guys?
Well, I'll tell you what. If for some bizarre reason Biden should win, the first thing I'm doing is taking my mask off.
Hey, you got that right. You got that right. Because, look, these bastards right now are trying to create as much chaos, whether it be about wearing a mask, whether it be about refusing to provide another round of stimulus money. I mean, why not just give us a bill that gives more stimulus money to people rather than all the extra crap trying to bail out cities, schools, and everything else? Just give everybody another round of money. Wouldn't you think that would be the proper thing to do to help the people out?
Absolutely. I mean, all Biden talks about is he would have a national federal mandate to where everyone has to wear a mask at all times.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to fight back against their idea of a National Mask Day. We're going to fight back. And that does call for a couple of oinks. There you go.
That was warming him up.
So, hey, at TexasBikerRadio.org, guys, I did post a video today. Matter of fact, I created a video for the first time in a long time. And it's about the Lone Star Project. And the Lone Star Project is a pack. And they're all about flipping Texas. Trying to flip Texas. That turned out, after I was done with it, to be an interesting video. And it has videos of cities that are being damaged by their progressive leadership. One of them was Venice Beach. Wait till you see this. The other one is Portland. wait till you see this. If you would, go check that video out. It's on the front page of Texas Biker Radio, called the Lone Star Project. It's on the front page. Check it out, like it, share it, see what you think. But it is interesting. And we're not finished with that, because Dallas is a liberal-run city. Now, they don't have all the problems with the burning and all that stuff yet. Yet. And so is Fort Worth. They got a bicycle riding mayor. That's all she can think about is bicycle lanes. But Texas towns are different. You know, Wolf City, for instance, they had that vigil last night. They had all those people show up from Antifa and the BLM, and there was some confrontation between them and the residents there. There was a confrontation, but they got it settled down. But I will say this: Wolf City is like Weatherford, Texas. They're not going to put up with burning and looting and busting out windows. None of that happened last night. None of it. Cooler heads prevailed. And it was a good thing, because it would have been a bad, bad scene. Just saying, everybody. Just saying.
I think maybe it's a little different in Texas.
Yeah.
It's a well-armed citizenry out there. Even the governor talked about, when that couple in Missouri was indicted for protecting their property.
Yeah.
He inasmuch said that wouldn't happen in Texas. So, you've got a lot of homeowners out there, a lot of property owners, a lot of apartment dwellers that are armed. Somebody starts screwing around in my front yard, I'm going to jack them up real quick.
There you go.
And I think I'll tell you what, there's a fair number of Trump signs on the street I live on.
Yeah.
I know I've got neighbors that are not going to take crap.
Yeah.
So, that seems to run fairly predominant in the state. And it goes back to the statement those Arlington law enforcement officers made when they said they were so glad they worked law enforcement in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you guys that are in the battleground states, we're hearing the polls. I don't believe any of these polls. None of them. None of them. Not even the Fox poll. Any of them. Because the media are such liars. They're such in the tank with the progressive left. They're so in the tank, you cannot believe anything you're being told. You can't believe anything. Whether it be about a poll, whether it be about a city like Pennsylvania, where they're claiming Biden's got this huge lead. I just can't believe that. And I did hear a guy call in one of the talk shows today here in the Dallas area that said, hey, it's all BS. Where they're probably polling in these major liberal cities. And that's the reason they're showing him with Biden, with a substantial lead, which I do not believe. I do not believe. I just can't believe that the people don't understand what's at stake here. We're talking about our Constitution. They've all but told us they're ready to get rid of it. They're ready to get rid of our free speech. They're ready to get rid of our Second Amendment. They're ready to get rid of all of our rights. They're gonna, if they get power, they're gonna stack the courts. They're gonna stack the Senate. They're gonna flood the country with illegal immigrants and try and assure themselves of one-party rule. Now, oh, gee, there were Republicans, there were people that were thinking, hey, some of these Republicans aren't helping out because they want to run in 2024.
Yeah.
There's not going to be anything to run for. They're not going to stand a chance unless they're going to run as a Democrat.
It'll be like California, nothing but ashes.
Yeah.
Now, you know, the debate tomorrow night, even though it's a vice presidential debate, should prove to be interesting. Speculation is that Pence is going to press, what is it, Kamala?
Kamala?
Camel Humper?
Kamala?
Yeah,
whatever.
He's going to press her on the questions that Trump pressed Biden on that Biden never answered. Like, are you going to pack the courts? Are you going to try and create extra Senate districts? He's going to press hard from what I understand. So tomorrow night, maybe worthy of your time to watch and see what happens, because that is one nasty bitch
Yeah.
that he's going to be contending with.
Yeah, and you know, and Mike Pence is a pretty mild-mannered guy, so if he's mild-mannered and she's being a bitch, let me tell you guys, that's going to show up.
Yep.
That's not going to go over well.
I'm kind of curious to watch tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
It could be more entertaining than the presidential.
It probably will be. Oh, and speaking of that, Chris Wallace, what a piece of work. Now, he too is out there yelling about the mask. He needs to shut his damn mouth. He's the very reason I do not watch Fox News anymore, is because of that son of a bitch. And you know what? That happened way before the presidential debate. And did you see any of that town hall with Joe Biden?
I heard about it.
You're talking about a cream puff event where they helped him along the way with simple questions and answers. He was never pressed on any issue. It was a farce. A farce. Of course, the mainstream media, hey man, he's our guy. He's good. He can bring everybody together. Now, when have we seen any Democrats, since Obama arrived, come together with anybody? Think about that. Remember when the progressives were saying, go out there and get in their face?
That's right.
Talking about bringing a knife to a gunfight. I mean, they have been in attack mode since and before Obama arrived on the scene. They've been all out attack mode against the American people. Not just Donald Trump, against us. Because, oh gee, as veterans, we are potential domestic terrorists.
That report still exists by Homeland
Yes, it does.
Security.
Yeah. So they're keeping an eye on us, but they're not keeping an eye on them son of a bitches there in Washington, D.C.
Yep.
That are nothing more than thieves. Nothing more than thieves. If there's loopholes for the rich in the tax codes, it's because, hey, they created them so they can benefit from them. Just think, Barack Obama loaded up a plane with, what, $1 billion? He loaded up a plane, didn't get permission from anybody, and sent it to Iran. I mean, how much could these guys steal without telling anybody?
They just press the button on the
If
printing
he
press.
can do that, why can't he just gather up a bunch of money? Think about this, guys, and we're going to be talking about this more in the next video I do, about the money that these people walk away with and the crimes they commit, and they never pay. They never pay. It's gone on. It's gone on since the early 80s, and probably way before. But now it's on steroids. The amount of money they can collect and walk away with. Just think, since Joe Biden left the vice presidency, he has made $16 million off of book deals and off of speeches. So whoever would want to hear, maybe it would be a comedy show to hear him give a speech.
There are times I would like to be a politician for about 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me say this, guys. No matter what happens, no matter who wins, it's going to be a bad scene. One, if Trump wins, the left is going to go nuts. Which I hope to see. I really want to see them go nuts. Really, really bad, everybody.
Speculation has it
Uh-huh.
that the only way this will not be a bad scene, even if, well, let me put it this way. The only way it will not be a bad scene is if Trump wins by a huge landslide.
Huge. We got to have it
has
big,
to be
everybody.
huge. The theory being that these brain-dead idiots on the left, if they see that kind of uprising by the conservatives, they will realize they best keep their mouth shut and go back to their corner.
Mm-hmm.
If it's marginal, they're going to raise hell. They're going to cast all kinds of allegations.
Yeah.
If Biden wins, it's going to be like Obama used to say, we won.
Yeah.
Tough, we won.
Yeah. And listen to this, guys. Those people over here, up here, right there, those people, it's not going to be, even if they win, it's not going to take them long to figure out that these people quit listening to them, and now they're the enemy. So
Yes.
this is going to be interesting to watch if that happens, but I don't want that to happen. I want to kick ass, what I want to do.
Further speculation is Biden won't make it past the first year
That's true.
of his first term.
That's true.
He will no longer be president.
They'll push him to the side or kill him. Oh, by the way, he may get COVID-19. Maybe they'll slip him a COVID Mickey in an aerosol can.
You bet.
That's our theory, guys. That's our theory. There's Sasquatch. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? That would be Richard. And so, wow. I didn't realize we'd breeze through those topics so fast. Got anything you want to bring up?
No, not tonight. I forgot the entire nomenclature for the website that I was going to refer people to. Dealing with the Second Amendment and the NRA, and the grading process they have for all the candidates in every state. You don't necessarily have to see the magazine. There is a website you can go to, and I promise you I will have it next Tuesday night.
Okay. And guys, I want to say to you right now, buy more ammo. Buy more ammo. If this crap is going to keep up, there's no telling us what's going to happen. And I'm not even talking about the presidential election. I'm talking about the way people are threatening people, the way people are acting out there. Now, I live in a mixed neighborhood. And when I go to the local store up here, the convenience store called Quick Trip, you know, everybody's being nice to each other. Everybody holds the doors open for each other. Everybody's nice. They're that way until they're not. Now, I would hate to see the Antifa types come into my neighborhood. It's not going to be a pretty scene, because my neighbors that surround me, they're ready. Like you said, Ghost Eagle, locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. Because it's quite obvious when you look around and see what's going on in Democratic-run cities across this country. They cannot protect you. And matter of fact is, they are enhancing the violence. They are enhancing the destructions of their cities. And you'll see that in that video I'm talking about. You'll see that in that video. Portland is a mess. But oh gee, there are stores that are open late nights catering to these people. They're buying drinks, they're feeding them, they're catering to them. I guess, you know, it's okay to be an entrepreneur even if you're selling to misfits. Because they're open and they're catering to them and they're spending money wherever they get it.
Well, I got to tell you, it's a strange area.
Yeah.
During my stint in the corporate world, I did have a branch office in Seattle that I had to visit on occasion. I was down in Portland on occasion. And there are lots of strange people there with lots of strange ideas. I would many times walk away just shaking my head. Glad to be back in the Midwest.
Yeah. Matters Workshop says, I have 2 Harleys, but my president rides a Honda. He's not talking about Trump. I don't think he rides anything other than a limo, and he's probably been doing that since he was 5.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah, it's a crazy thing, guys. And like I said, go to TexasBikerRadio.org and take a look at that video on the front page, and you know, subscribe to our channel. Tell your friends to subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. We're gonna be putting out a lot of stuff over the next 28 days. We've got to push Donald Trump over the finish line. We have to battle all these people that are attacking not only the president, but us. Us. That's what this is. This is an attack on us. It's an attack on our Constitution. It's an attack on our way of life. And if you think the Democrats aren't a job-killing machine, I've got news for you, everybody. I've been battling that shit since the early 1980s, around 82, I think it was, when we were battling NAFTA. And after we lost that battle, we started losing manufacturing jobs. We started losing manufacturers, one after the other, to the tune of 60,000 manufacturing plants left this country. Think about that, guys. You want to go back to that crap? Because all these people on the left and some on the right are ready to sell us out. They're ready to do it. They're ready to enrich themselves by letting foreign governments just rape the hell out of us.
Listen, when I was with Honeywell, they moved a circuit board manufacturing facility south of the border into Mexico because of stringent EPA regulations.
Yeah.
And that's how they bypass
That's what
that
happens. They'll go start throwing these regulations. They'll go start trying to Green New Deal. There's only one way to describe it, everybody. They're going to fuck us up. Is what they're going to do. Sorry, I just put us in another category on YouTube. Hey guys, I got to show you this shirt that was given to me by one of our members here. Let me stand up. Look at here. Popeye, American made. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. But with that, guys, we're going to be out of here. Everybody stay safe.
Stay healthy.
That's right. Don't wear a mask when nobody's around you. Be brave, be bold. And Donald Trump was right. You can't live scared. You can't. We're not, are we?
Hell no.
Hell no.
We go and do anyway.
That's right. We go and do. We take that risk, knowing that, hey, look, it could be bad. It could be bad. But I do believe that Donald Trump has shown everybody that what they've been doing in therapeutics with the medicines that are coming along at warp speed, this stuff is coming along. People are going to have a chance to fight this stuff off. We cannot keep putting our heads in the sand. We cannot keep closing businesses down. We cannot have people be living off the government for long periods of time. The country's got to get back to work because I need my retirement money. With that, everybody, have a good evening and ride safe, everybody. Ride safe.
Good night.
Whatever happens out there, any news, anything we decide we got to talk about, we'll be back on quick. Ride safe. Bye-bye.